Hello and welcome to day 1 of Heart. Today we'll be exploring some chest expansion and some new poses to bring you into a new open-hearted space. So we will get started in child's pose today. So take your shins to your mat, your big toes together, your knees nice and wide. Crawl the fingertips forward and rest your forehead down onto the mat. Start to breathe gentle and slow. With every breath, becoming more aware of the expansion that happens in your body. On the inhale, feel your breath rise into your chest. Expand your ribs, your belly, and even the back body as well. On the exhale, notice everything fall back to center. As you rest here and ground into your practice, think about relaxing right underneath the shoulders, right around the chest, preparing for an open heart. Take a slow breath in. Gentle open mouth. One more inhale. Open mouth. Return to natural rhythms of your breath and begin to slide the fingertips forward. Maybe even tent the palms off the ground as you come onto the tops of the fingertips. Crawl forward a little bit more with the hands as you continue to send the hips towards your heels. Feel both side bodies elongating as you find this stretch. And then relax the hands, the elbows back down, palms together, bend at the elbows to send the thumbs behind the base of the skull. You may feel sensation in the triceps, the shoulders, or the chest. Just depends on if you're feeling any tension in those areas or if you're not quite as open. Then gently release the palms down towards your mat. Slide them in a little bit for support as you draw the shoulders forward and up to meet in a tabletop position. Knees rearranged to come right underneath the hips. Have the wrists underneath the shoulders. We start with cat-cow, but let this begin from the belly. So firm up through the core, press down through the hands, all 10 fingers, and ripple just from the belly. Start to tilt the pelvis up. Let the ribs, the heart, the gaze follow. And use the core, pull in at your center. Feel the mid-back reach up to the sky as the tail tucks under and the chin comes to chest. Do that a few more times and go nice and slow here. So inhale to find your openness. And exhale to close in. 2 more. Big inhale, nice and slow. Exhale, pull in. 1 more, fully enjoy it, full breath. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, pause and center. Gaze in between your thumbs. Begin to crawl the hands farther out away from you as you begin to lower the chest down towards the ground. Maybe you stop halfway. Maybe your chest comes all the way down. Maybe you can get your chin to your mat as you gaze forward. And slowly use the strength of your core, pick the belly back up, And then gently slide the hands back in, wrists underneath the shoulders. Nice work. Curl all 10 toes under. And before we lift the hips, we hover just the knees, press down into the hands, into the toes, pick the knees up off the ground. We hold for 4, for 3, down dog in 2, 1. Send the hips up nice and high. Find your downward facing dog and feel free to rearrange here as much or as little as you would like, whether you want a more elongated downward dog or a shorter one, completely up to you. Let the head hang heavy, ears in between the biceps. As you begin to bicycle the heels up and off the ground, find some length in the backs of your legs. Continue with the strong press through all 10 fingers. Like you want to push the mat away from you to help get the hips up a little bit higher. Pause in stillness. Let the heels get a little bit heavier towards the ground, and then gaze forward to the top of your mat. Slowly begin to walk the feet forward towards your hands to eventually meet in a standing forward fold. In our standing forward fold, we'll start with the knees bent just a little bit here. And when you find that bend in your knees, shift the weight forward into the balls of the feet. Then from here, imagine like you want to lift the hips up to the sky. You'll notice a little bit of resistance in the backs of the knees, perfectly fine. Arms wherever you want them to be. Chin tucks in towards your chest. Get long through the back of your neck. As you breathe here, and this is an inversion since our head is below the heart, notice that with the breath, the back body tends to expand a little bit more than the front. So the back part of the heart lifts up towards the sky. And then everything falls back in. Back off of your generosity in your forward fold. Root down through the feet, strong in the core. As you inhale, reverse your swan dive. Lift all the way up to the sky. Palms will touch. As you exhale, hands into your heart space. Squeeze the ribs down and in. Inhale, send your hands up to the sky. Stay on the exhale and do your best to track your biceps maybe further behind the ears. Let the ribs poke forward just a little bit, but still keep that core engagement in the low belly. Like you want to pull navel to spine right here, baby back bend. Take another inhale. Exhale, we separate the hands as we forward fold, a nice long spine. Inhale for a halfway rise. Take the shoulder blades on the back body as you reach through the crown and the hips. Exhale, we fold. Palms touch the ground. Take a walk back into a high plank position. If high plank doesn't feel good in the body, lower the knees for a half plank instead. Wherever you choose to hold, make it full of intention and purpose. Strength at your center. Gentle firming in the glutes, quads, hamstrings, even if the knees are on the ground. Push down through all 10 fingers as if you want to wrap the biceps forward, and then a little bit of traction, like you want to get the wrists and the elbows in towards each other. You should feel the pecs light up. Begin to gaze forward, like you want to reach the chest away from you. Big inhale. Exhale, bend at the elbows, slowly lower down. Uncurl the toes. Press your big toes down into the mat. Feel the kneecaps lift up. Push the pelvis down, low belly hugs you in. Find a little bit of engagement in the lower body. And on your next inhale, start to lift the gaze. Lift the chin. Lift the chest. Shoulders on the back body. Find your low cobra. Exhale, release. We add on. Inhale, float the nose, the chest, the palms. Continue with the strong press through the toes. Exhale, we lower. We add on one more time. Inhale, lift the upper body. Lift the hands, lift the toes, reach out and up. Exhale, we release. Push down through the hands. Option 2, reverse your full plank or half plank as you push up. And then move the hips up high, downward facing dog. Take a slow breath in. Gentle open mouth. Inhale, sweep the right leg up high. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Now, usually when we're here, we want to press down evenly through both hands, but since we're doing a heart opening class today, we can load up the weight a little bit more on the left side. Twist the chest open underneath the right bicep. Might open a little bit more in the hip. Even in the core, you might feel the lower abs get a bit of a stretch. One more inhale. Exhale, wrap the knee underneath the body, in towards the chest, then step the foot all the way through. As you lower the back knee down, find a low lunge. You have your right knee over top of your right ankle. Find the strength at your center as you inhale. Lift the hands up to the sky. Find the chest reaching towards the ceiling. Now, if you saw when I lifted up, I backed off a little bit with my hips. So back off a little bit here. Find the drive down and forward with the left knee, and then that push down and back with the right heel. You feel a little bit of traction there. Maybe feel the inner legs light up. Gentle squeeze into the left glute. And imagine like you want to close the space between the bottom ribs and the pelvis. So curl the belly in, yes. If you have any tension in the left hip flexor, you might feel that right here. And keep all that engagement you just found and slide forward as much as is possible. So for me, that's about 1/2 inch. Palms will touch, interlace the last 6 fingers. Big inhale, start to gaze up. As you exhale, slide the biceps behind the ears. Keep the core engagement once again, so you can open a little bit here. Bottom ribs come away from the pelvis, but do your best to keep that low belly engagement. So we start with a baby back bend here, just to warm up. Big inhale. Exhale, zip up through center. Take an inhale, release the palms. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up overhead, side body stretch. Inhale, we reach up through center. Exhale, split the arms on the horizon as you twist your chest towards the right. Find yourself in a revolved lunge. So we're going to move a little bit, breath to movement. Inhale, sink down into the hips, maybe relieve some of the engagement you had in the lower body. As you exhale, refine that engagement to close the space between the ribs and the pelvis. Inhale, we come low. And exhale, we pull in. One more inhale. Exhale. Stay with the legs. Inhale, just the arms reach up. Exhale, hands come down to frame the foot. Back toes curl under, float the knee. Step back for high or half plank, optional chaturanga, or meet me in downward dog. Go at your pace. Move with your breath. When you're ready, downward facing dog. Take a slow breath in. Open mouth. Inhale, send the left leg up high. Exhale, bend the knee and open the hip. Push down a lot through the right hand, maybe just a little lighter in the left, as you push your chest a little closer towards the thigh, and then maybe even spin it underneath the left bicep. One more inhale here. Exhale, wrap the knee underneath the body as you step the foot all the way through. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, palms, chest will rise up to find your lower lunge. So let's set ourselves up again here. We find that press down and forward with the back knee, that push down and back with the left heel. Close the space between the ribs and the pelvis. Feel the core engage, pelvis curls under lightly, and you'll notice some resistance in the hip flexor right there. Big inhale, reach up. Nice work. From here, palms will touch. Interlace the last 6 fingers. Send your pointer finger to the sky. Inhale, lift. As you exhale, slide the biceps behind the ears only as much as you can. From here, you can let the ribs, the pelvis separate. Invite some space in between right there. But at the same time, still keep the lower belly hugged in, like you want to pull the energy in and up through the chest, the crown, and the fingertips. Baby back bend to start here. One more inhale. Exhale, we back off. Inhale, separate the hands. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up overhead. Inhale, reach through center. Exhale, split the arms on the horizon as you twist towards the left. Inhale, come out of the engagement in the body as you find depth in your lunge. Exhale, pull and close everything in, strong core. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, pull in, engage. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Legs will stay. Inhale, just the arms, reach them up. Exhale, hands come down. This time we add on. Back toes curl under, float the knees, step back, high or half plank. Option to skip and meet in down dog. When you're ready, take that inhale, find your small shift forward. Exhale, find your chaturanga. On your inhale, option to come all the way down to your belly for Cobra, or uncurl the toes, lift up the chest, squeeze into the glutes, into the lower body. As you press through the hands, heart opens forward for upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over knees or toes, downward facing dog. Take a slow inhale. Open mouth. Inhale, sweep the right leg up high. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Twist the chest underneath the bicep. One more breath in. Exhale, wrap the knee underneath the body and step all the way through. This time, back knee stays lifted. Inhale, palms, chest will rise up high to the sky to find your high lunge right here. So with the high lunge, if you still feel that tension in the left hip flexor, gentle bend in the back knee. Let the pelvis curl under slightly, find neutral in the back body. If you have a lot of space in the hip flexor, squeeze into the bottom of the left glute, and then from there, lengthen through the left leg. Strong press through the front. Find the engagement in the quad. Interlace the last 6 fingers. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, slide the biceps behind the ears. Maybe you notice you find a little bit more space across the chest, in the shoulders, perhaps a slightly deeper back bend. Still keep the low belly engaged. Hug in and up through the navel. One more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale, zip up through center. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, reach a little taller. Exhale, take that right hand down. This time, left hand catches the base of the skull as you stretch up and over like you want to lift your side body, your tricep, your left elbow towards the sky and up and over the ceiling towards the right. Inhale, reach up through center. Exhale, we find our twist, arms on the horizon, chest opens towards the right. Gaze can be fully over the shoulder on the horizon or towards the front of the room. Just depends on how your neck feels. We add on. Inhale, exalt your lunge. Left hand reaches up slightly back, and maybe this right hand taps the back of the leg. Re-engage through this back leg here. Keep the integrity of your pose. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands to heart as the body turns forward. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, float off the back toes. Find warrior 3, but I want you to open up and find a bit of a back bend here. Open through the chest and the heart. Nice work. One more inhale. Exhale, lower the back toes down. Inhale, sweep the arms up high to the sky. And exhale, palms down to frame the foot. Step back, higher half plank. Move through your chaturanga. On the inhale, upward dog or cobra. I'll stick with cobra today. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a slow inhale. Open mouth. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Stay for another inhale. Exhale, wrap the knee underneath the body and step or walk through. Strong in the legs, back knee stays lifted. Inhale, rise up, find your high lunge. So decide here if you want that gentle bend in the back knee to help bring the pelvis under. If you can keep this relative engagement and positioning, and you feel like the hip flexors are feeling nice and long, squeeze into the bottom of the right glute, and from there extend through the leg, yes. If you notice the heels coming back in space, push down through the ball of the foot and send the heel forward, there you go. Nice work. Interlace the last 6 fingers, pointer finger to the sky. Inhale, reach a little taller. Exhale, slide the biceps behind the ears. Think about that openness across the chest, the front body, the heart, that mind-body connection to be more intentional as we not only hold our poses, but move through the transitions as well. Engage in the low belly. Inhale, rise up through center. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left hand down. Bend into the right elbow as you clasp the base of the skull. Reach, reach, reach. Side body, tricep, elbow, up and over towards the left. Nice work. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, find your twist, split the arms open. In your twist, everything comes from the core, so pull in at your center. Let the heart be expansive and open across the arms. Nice work. Stay for an inhale. Stay for an exhale. Inhale, exalt your lunge. Right arm reaches up and back, re-engage through this right leg. And with the gentle tap of the fingertips on the leg, that might help to be a little bit of a reminder right there. One more inhale. Exhale, go slow. Hands to heart, chest faces forward. Inhale, shift it forward. Exhale, float off the toes, keep the chest open. Maybe you continue to gaze forward as you use the strength in the hamstring and glute to help lift the leg up higher to the sky. Stay for your breath in. Exhale, back toes lower. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hands down, frame the foot. Step back, high half one-legged plank, chaturanga, or skip completely and meet in downward facing dog. Once you find down dog, take an inhale. Open mouth. Nice work. Bring your gaze to the top of your mat. Step, jump, or float, yogi's choice. Find a forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, we release. Reverse your swan dive, long spine. Inhale, rise up. Palms will touch. Exhale, and release the last 6 fingers. Inhale, reach. Exhale, slide the biceps behind the ears. Find that engagement in the low belly, even the glutes as you send the pelvis forward in space this time. Maybe find a deeper back bend. Inhale, rise up through center. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, we fold. This time, we start to bend into the knees as we sit all the way down on the ground. It can be a little bit messy. Transitions are important in a yoga class. That's where most of the injury happens, but you're allowed to be messy with it sometimes. Just be gentle and be careful. Find yourself in a seat. And if a cross-legged seat is uncomfortable and you find the knees lifting up a lot, the hip flexors are still tight, take a towel, take a blanket, some blocks right underneath the back of the sitting bones. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. Exhale, sweep the hands behind your body, interlace the fingers. Big inhale, extend through the knuckles, lift the chest. As you exhale, take the hands over towards the right hip. Close the elbows in. Slowly start to tilt left ear towards left shoulder. If it feels good, you can roll out the head, the neck, just a little bit. Be gentle, give yourself grace. Find stillness. Lift the head back in through center. Release the hands from the right hip and slide them over towards the left. Curl the elbows in, and then slowly take left ear to left shoulder. If you want to bring in that motion, go right ahead. Find a little bit of movement right here. Be gentle, be kind to your body. Slowly find stillness. Head will move up through center. Take the hands behind you. Release the clasp. Nice work. Shrug the shoulders up by the ears. Big inhale. Exhale, relax the shoulders down the back body. Nice work. So let's uncross the legs. Make your way into a kneeling position with the hips over top of the knees and the shoulders over the hips. Yogi's choice if you want to keep the toes tucked or untucked. We start with the hands on the lower back. As if you want to place them in your back pockets, you find very light pressure as you push in and down. Hug the elbows in. Big inhale, lift through the chest. As you exhale, use the glutes. Press the pelvis forward as you slowly start to tilt back with the upper body. We start in our version of camel. You can stay as you are. Maybe you want to lower your right hand down. Maybe you lift your left arm to the sky. If you want to do full camel pose, release the left hand towards the back heel. Gentle squeeze in the glutes as you send the hips forward and keep the head in line with the spine. If you decide to drop the head back, that puts a lot of pressure in the cervical spine, the top part of the spinal column, the neck area. And it is a cause for injury or concern. Not too often. I don't really see those injuries often, actually, but it is definitely a risk. So do your best to keep the neck kind of in line with the rest of the upper body. If you decided for one hand, go ahead and switch right here. Find the breath, that openness, big openness across the heart and the front body, maybe even a new pose for you today. And slowly we'll come out of this just how we came in. We'll bring the palms down to the ground and find ourselves in a rock pose. Knees, shins, ankles slide together. We rest the forehead down and wrap the palms behind us, and they clasp onto the heels. Gentle breath in our gentle counter. Camel pose was a big pose, a big back bend. And instead of going into the exact opposite of extreme, we come into more of a gentle closing of the front body. Slowly begin to lift up. Find yourself in a kneeling position. We'll begin to slide forward on the mat. Meet me on your belly. And again, it can be a little bit messy. Get there however you would like. We take the forehead down. Just like in our first few rounds of Cobra, we'll find that activity in the legs. So press down with the toes. Feel the knees lift. Push the pelvis into your mat. Glutes engage, low belly hugs in. Start to extend the palms behind you. Let them face down next to the hips and float them off the ground. Begin to let the forehead, chest, toes, knees follow as you find yourself strengthening through the back body, and then start to roll the shoulders back a little bit more, lift through the heart, open, and we release. Rest one cheek down on the ground. You have the option to add on next. Big inhale, start to lift up. Stay, don't hold the breath, hold the pose. If you'd like, you can continue. Bend the knees. Receive the outer ankles or the soles of the feet with your hands. Then kick tops of feet into the palms as you feel the chest open even more into your bow pose. And we slowly release. Gaze in the opposite direction. Just rest a little here. Gaze down. Palms underneath the shoulders. From here, we'll find one last chest opener. We'll start by extending the right hand away from you, straight out from the shoulder, palm face down. That left hand stays underneath the shoulder. Press into the left hand as you roll onto the right side. Use this left toe to support you as you take the toe behind the leg. If you need a little bit extra, you can crawl the right fingertips towards the top of your mat. Keep the arm long. And if you're still craving more, maybe roll a little bit more onto the right side, or take that left hand behind you and interlace the fingers. Slowly unwind through center. We move into the other side. Left arm extends away from you, palm face down. Keep the arm nice and straight. Right hand underneath the shoulder. Roll over onto that left side. Use your right hand as leverage. Take the right toes behind the left leg for support. You're welcome to find your bigger heart-opening variations if you would like. And slowly unwind back through center. We take the palms underneath the shoulders, push ourselves all the way up and back into child's pose. Knees wide, toes together, rest down. Forehead to your mat. Find gentle breath. As you close in, heartful and expanded. In this pose, as we close through the front body with every single breath in, imagine that expansiveness across the back body, the back of your heart. Slowly press down into the hands. Shift yourself forward into tabletop. We'll meet again in a seat, so you can be a little bit messy here. Find yourself in a seated position, and then from your seat, begin to lie down on your mat. If you want some extra heart opening here, you can do what I've done. I have a little mat right here, and I placed it right underneath my spinal column, and I have my shoulders off of it. So it only gives me about an inch of extra room, but it does help me open my heart and my chest just a little bit. You can definitely make that more intense by rolling up a blanket or a towel, putting it long ways across underneath the spinal column, and let the shoulder blades and the shoulders fall off the edges. Or you can make it more intense by taking 2 blocks on the second setting, one underneath the shoulder blades across the very bottom of them like a bra strap, and the other one right underneath the head to support you. So you decide as you fall into your final rest. And I encourage you, as you soften your gaze or close your eyes, to enjoy the stillness, the gentleness, and the openness that you have within your heart. We take a final few rounds of breath together. We start with chest breath. Generous inhale, fill into the chest cavity first. Then let it fill through the ribs and the belly. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest. One more. Inhale, fill up the chest first. Then down into the ribs and the belly. And then exhale, push the air out. If that feels good and you want to take a few more, please go ahead. This allows the top part of the body to fill first so that the diaphragm can expand downward to its fullest capacity. When we start with the belly breath, we fill up the lower part, the abdomen first, and it might not leave as much room for the upper part, and that's okay. Vice versa can also be true if we start with our chest breath, but it just depends on what you need today. Then fall into the space of just being. Natural breath. As you stay gentle and slow. If you would like a longer Shavasana, please stay just as you are. But if you're ready to reawaken, start to find gentle motion in the fingers and toes, and the ankles and wrists. Arms and legs liven, move the shoulders, the hips, rock the head side to side. Deepen the breath. Find stillness in any way you'd like to. Make your way into a comfortable seat. No rules, no requirements, whatever that means to you. I invite you to close the eyes or to soften your gaze. Hands to heart space. Inhale. Lift the chest. Let the heart press into the thumbs. Exhale, let it all fall in, chin to chest. Thank you so much for flowing today, opening your heart, and hopefully feeling so good. The light and the teacher in me bows to you. Thank you, friend.